Yu Haruna is an introverted teenager living in Tokyo with his three sisters and is also a constant user of Twitter. One day he runs into a mysterious girl named Fuka Akatsushi, and a misunderstanding leads her into smashing his phone and teaching him a lesson. Yu learns that the new school he's transferring to is also attended by Fuka, who he runs into on the school rooftop. Another misunderstanding leads to her throwing Yu's repair phone over the edge, but she helps him find it the next day as a favor for Yu, returning her a CD she dropped during their first encounter. Fuka sees Yu holding spare movie tickets given to him by his sister for a film featuring a song by Hoyuki Hinashi, whom Fuka is a big fan of. They go out to see the movie together and get in line afterwards for phone charms that are reserved for couples. After this day out with Fuka, a familiar person contacts Yu online. Fuka talks with her parents, Suzuka and Yamato, both former athletes, about not being interested in joining the track team yet wanting to find something to be passionate about. One day, Yu sees Fuka overlooking the school courtyard while quietly crying, and he sees that his classmate Makoto was down there. Yu assumes that Fuka has feelings for Makoto but learns later that Makoto isn't into girls and that Fuka was crying because of an emotional song by Koyuki that she was listening to. The person contacting Yu turns out to be Koyuki, who is a childhood friend. Koyuki invites Yu to her upcoming concert, which he attends with Fuka. After listening to Fuka sing, Yu suggests that she take up music. Fuka decides to start a band with Yu and Makoto at the suggestion of Mrs. Tomomi. Yu, Fuka, and Makoto head to the seaside to take up a part-time job at a beach house in order to earn some money for some instruments. While at the beach house, Yu's timid and shy nature leads to him having a hard time serving customers and also creates tension with Yahagi, the beach house owner. Yu contemplates on going home, but with encouragement from Fuka, he improves his performance at work and grows some confidence. Later in the evening, Koyuki contacts Yu, and they meet up. Fuka also shows up while looking for Yu and sees them together. To her surprise, upon seeing Yu and Koyuki together, Fuka runs off and returns to the beach house. The next morning, Yu tries to explain to Fuka that he and Koyuki are just friends, but Fuka gets mad that he never told her this. Tomomi Hisashi and Kazuyo show up at the beach house to pay everyone a visit, and it's soon discovered that Tomomi Hisashi and Yahagi are former members of the popular band Hedgehogs. The former band members note that the Hedgehogs are on hiatus because bassist Nico and vocalist Tama took off and disappeared. Kazuya, having always wanted Fuka to join the track team, voices his skepticism on whether Fuka could really pursue music. Tomomi decides to hold a test performance with Fuka on vocals and Yu on bass. Fuka and Yu apologize to each other over the tension from Yu's meet-up with Koyuki. During the performance, Fuka impresses everyone with her singing, and Kazuya gets recruited into the band. Koyuki pays a visit to Yu and becomes emotional when he suggests he also has feelings for her. At school, the band members encounter Sarah, a guitarist and the younger sister of Hisashi who didn't get along with the past bands she's been in. Despite this, Fuka asks Sarah to join her band when they are practicing in the music studio, which Sarah agrees to. The band discovers during practice that they have much to improve on in terms of their instrument skills. Later, the band has a meal together, and after everyone else departs, Yu and Sarah discovered that, unbeknownst to each other, they are already longtime friends on Twitter, and Sarah immediately warms to Yu, a change from her initial cold demeanor towards him. After a period of practice, the band meets up at Kazu's garage and plays his song with much improved skill. Fuka decides that the band will perform in the upcoming school festival. Koyuki reflects on her childhood and her past friendship with Yu. They were both close friends as children and were fans of the Hedgehogs, nicknaming each other Nico and Tama after the band members. Koyuki's parents often argued and eventually decided to split, and Koyuki had to move away with her mother, much towards sadness in being forced to be separated from Yu. In the present day, Koyuki visits you to invite him to her Christmas concert, and they both renew their childhood promise to perform music together. Koyuki becomes dismayed when you mentions his school band with Fuka and that he was just glad to be friends with her.